Good afternoon, friends, and welcome to an emergency, unscheduled live stream from Crime Time with DutyRon and Ed Wallace. We have breaking news developing this morning. Outside of Rex Heuermann's home, the Suffolk County District Attorney, along with Suffolk County Homicide Squad and the state police, are set up just the same way we were set up there outside that home in July of last year. There's temporary headquarters vehicles. The medical examiner's office is on the scene. Helicopters are flying overhead. So this is major breaking news. We're going to get to it right here from News 4, folks.
Let's start with that breaking news from Long Island. The FBI back at the house of accused Gilgo Beach suspect Rex Heuermann. They're conducting a new search of the property right now. Chopper 4 giving you a look here live over the house in Massapequa Park. You see a crowd gathering in the neighborhood. News 4's Paisley Cheng is there on the ground for us. Paisley, what can you tell us about this new search?
Yeah, this new search is really taking these neighbors here by surprise because, things have gotten back to normal, as they say. Heuermann's family has moved back to the house. They've been trying to, kind of get the press away from here. And now suddenly it is still a crime scene. Now, we have seen a lot of state police and Suffolk County police vehicles here, as well as Suffolk County detectives. And we understand that a search warrant is being executed at the Heuermann residence, according to the attorney of Heuermann's ex-wife. And we don't know exactly what has brought them back here 10 months after their first exhaustive search. But right in front of the house, we saw tables set up, boxes, things that were laying out onto the table. And just recently, they had put up these white tents to prevent people, I would assume, from looking into what they're doing. Rex Heuermann was arrested last July. He has pleaded not guilty to first and second degree murder charges of Megan Waterman, Melissa Barthélemy, Amberlynn Costello, and Maureen Brainerd Barnes. We spoke to a lot of neighbors here who couldn't help it, had to come back here and take a look and see what's going on, and here's what they told us.
I mean, they keep on finding new evidence. I hope this leads to the rest of the girls being found. I mean, I can't believe that they're still looking. What else could they possibly be looking for at this point?
I don't know. I mean, I thought they tore the house apart last time. I have no idea.
What does that tell you, though, that they're back here and they're looking again?
Maybe he's talking. Maybe Rex is talking.
And that is everyone's assumption that somehow investigators now have new information that would lead them to search in a different area of the home or perhaps the property. A lot of questions right now, not a lot of answers, but as you can see, the police presence here is massive, and we are going to be following this. We spoke to the Suffolk County DA's office, and they gave us a statement saying that the work of the Gilgo Beach Homicide Task Force is continuing, and they do not comment on ongoing investigations. For now, we're live from Massapequa. Paisley Cheng, News 4 New York.
There you have it, Ed. I want to go to Ed Wallace, who's live with us from Morocco. You don't often see the medical examiner come out to the scene if there's not a just cause for it, but we did see that in July of 2023. I just want to get your thoughts as a crime scene expert of what you're seeing here unfolding.
Yes, they were just searching a couple weeks ago in a wooded area, and it's been reported that they were digging up this area and they found some kind of wooden box. Now, whether or not that's related to this, what was inside the box, we don't know. If that box is associated with any of the crimes here or to Rex, we don't know. But then, on the heels of finding that box, a couple weeks later, they're here and they called out the medical examiner's office. Now, it's been reported from the scene that they're pulling out brown paper bags of evidence. So normally,
yep, go ahead,
normally the brown paper bags are used for DNA type evidence. Okay. And you don't normally call out a medical examiner unless there are body parts or something to that nature.
Exactly. And that's why I immediately thought of you, Ed, when I heard the brown paper bags and so forth. And traditionally, those are used, as you said, for serology, body parts, things of that nature. You don't put blood evidence and so forth. But the Manorville search was extensive and it lasted for days. So that Manorville search was extensive. We don't know what they found. They may be looking for some other evidentiary materials at this home, or they may have missed something, or they may have received additional information from that search, or as the reporter said, maybe people were talking. Let's listen to the News Nation piece, because this is where they talk about the brown paper bags. I know.
In years. The medical examiner has just arrived to the home of accused Gilgo Beach killer Rex Heuermann, and now they appear to be removing large bags of evidence from that property. The 6-year-old is charged with killing 4 women, otherwise known as...
And I want to stop it just for a second, Ed, because large bags of evidence from that property, they spent, I think, 12 days last time I went out there. When they were out there, I did a live stream from that location. Double-digit days searching in that home. What could they have possibly missed? Now, when I saw the aerial, Ed, of that backyard, everything is cleared, and there's a large concrete patio back there. Could he have buried something under that concrete patio?
Well, if that was the case, that should have been dug up the last time. I'm thinking more of the cases like there was stuff there, but they didn't have an association of evidence with it. They saw it. It was in the house. They didn't realize maybe there was some kind of connection to it. Now they uncovered some new evidence, and now they're saying, oh, shit, I saw this in that house. This is now associated with that, and let's go get it. So they went to a judge, got a warrant, and going back in now. Now, something happened in Manorville. They found something, okay?
Yeah, and it led them back to here today. So let's let the rest of this play.
Gilgo 4. He has pleaded not guilty. Let's bring in News Nation senior correspondent Laura Ingle, who has been following this case from the beginning. She is live there on Long Island. So, Laura, at this point, they're bringing out bags of supposed alleged evidence.
That's right. We've been waiting to see what they're going to bring out of the house. I am just about 2 houses down. You can't really see now that we've got a police trooper blocking our view. But right now, members of the Gilgo Beach Task Force are inside of this home. We're talking about Suffolk County Police, Nassau County, state troopers are here. And we just saw a bunch of people show up in suits. They look like, I've seen some of them before in court. It looks like they are detectives with members of the Gilgo Beach Task Force. And as you mentioned, somebody from the ME, the medical examiner's office, just pulled up here in front of us. They drove around because the street is completely blocked off. That obviously appears to be a very big development, not necessarily to say that they found a body, but maybe they found something that might have some material that a medical examiner may need to examine. Now, we've seen that before. The medical examiner's office showed up when they did a search of Rex Heuermann's storage units last summer. We never found out. Every time we go to court, I asked the Suffolk County District Attorney, Ray Tierney, by the way, why was the medical examiner called to those storage units? He's never been able to answer it, saying it's an ongoing investigation.
Ed, I remember when you picked that out. That was at Apex or Arrow Storage Unit in the next town over in Amityville. And you pointed out, because you worked in the medical examiner's office, you pointed out that, heck, they don't just go out to a storage unit to poke around. There has to be cause for them to respond, correct?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, there are very limited numbers of these people from the medical examiner's office. So there has to be a reason for them to come out there. So they uncovered something and they want to know if it's human or it's animal, or things like that, things of that nature, and they'll call out the medical examiners, people who have that expertise.
And folks, I just want to let you know information that is developing and that is coming out. Asa Ellerup, Rex Heuermann's wife, and her son are in another state, I believe North Carolina or South Carolina. I don't remember exactly, but they are out at a different location, and the daughter is not there. So that home is vacant at the time. We're not sure if their attorneys had a heads up, but Rex Heuermann's attorney said that he was unaware of it, but he knows that they're out there. They tried to get comment from Asa Ellerup's attorney as well, but that's neither here nor there. They're back, and Ed, by what you're seeing here, this is a full-scale second operation that's not going to wrap up probably anytime soon. They may be here for days, arguably a week. I don't know.
If, as you say, they're digging up the backyard or underneath a concrete patio, yeah, they could be there quite some time.
Yeah. Let's say hello to a lot of our friends in the chat because a lot of people are joining in. Margaret, thank you for being here. Hello, Dawn Marie, Gina, Aunt BB2. Always great to see everybody. Let's let the rest of this play from News Nation.
But certainly what appeared to be a very big development here just moments ago. And after we saw the member of the medical examiner's team show up, we also came over here and noted that there are many large bags coming out of the house, big evidence.
Ed, let's take a look at this live. I don't know if you could see this up on the screen, but this is live from the helicopter shot. And this is the patio that I'm talking to you about right here where I'm running my cursor over. That was that atrium that was there. Remember, and they were digging over here in this area. There's a ton of area in this backyard, but this whole thing is concrete right here.
Yeah. Is it?
It is.
Some of it looks like a,
This is going to show you here. You're gonna get a better look here. I'll let it play.
Bags.
Okay.
People with crime lab on the back of their shirts, taking it out, and they're taking it.
They're in the backyard there with that table set up, and that's a familiar sight to us, right?
Yeah, Ron, I think that's wood, but keep letting it go so we can see it again.
Earlier, I don't know if you still have those aerials, but when police first arrived here this morning to serve
Not
a
there.
search warrant, and remember, Asa Ellerup, Rex Heuermann's estranged wife, her 2 adult children were not here. So when police arrived, they erected these, pop-up tents and then put some tables underneath those tents. And I've seen people go under there with clipboards. And what it appears to be happening is that they're grabbing evidence and that they're making.
Ed, for the friends okay, we might get to see it here. The friends that are watching this as they're setting up these pop-up tents, it's about 70 in the 70s here in New York. It's not scorching summer temperatures, but it's in the 70s. Purpose for putting up these white tents, Ed.
Well, you're going to see not only they're going to put the white tents up to block the sun, but they're also going to put walls up on these tents to block the cameras from the media and from views like from that helicopter and anybody on the street.
Could this also be to stop any type of contamination from wind or dust and so forth? There's still pollen out there and stuff like and things of that nature, or no?
Sure, it has that purpose as well.
Okay. I'm just thinking like you for a minute.
But if you go back, maybe we can go back just a little bit and let me look at that again, because to me, it appeared to be a wood patio.
Let's let the rest of it play because I saw it clear.
And then
I'm going to let the rest of it play.
Underneath those tents. And I've seen people go under there with clipboards. And what it appears to be happening is that they're grabbing evidence and that they're making an inventory of it. They've got their own cameras set up on a tripod. They're videotaping everything that they're doing here. But as this afternoon has started to move on, what's to be happening is that they're grabbing evidence. And that
look right here beyond this tree. I do see decking there, but it looks like from another shot that I saw from another news agency, and I'll find it. I saw a concrete patio.
Making an inventory of it. They've got their own cameras set up on it.
It's right up in that tree area, but let's see if they get to the back.
It might be Trex or some kind of
they're videotaping everything that they're doing here. But as this afternoon has started to move on, we are seeing more and more members of law enforcement show up. So obviously a very big, major deal in this case. And this follows a very significant search of Manorville in the woods that happened just last month. Now, the Manorville searches are said to be tied to 2 of the Long Island serial killer victims, Valerie Mack and Jessica Taylor. Could that have something to do with what we're seeing?
Now, Ed, you see NYPD there. This is the Manorville searches that happened just a short time ago. And these Manorville searches were very extensive. And we have personnel, K9, possibly crime scene from NYPD. Any reason for the listening audience why they would be out there involved?
Yeah, they would have to enact a mutual aid agreement, and our K9 assets would go out there. That's not a crime scene wagon. We use Sprinter vans now. So most likely it's K9. And we have cadaver dogs, we have search dogs, we have bloodhounds. You name it, we have it. In addition, it could be Teru. the
Right.
technical assistance response unit, and they could put their drones up in the air with their infrared cameras to search these areas.
Here now, of course, we have to wait for the DA to tell us what's going on, but we are here with our cameras watching every bit of it, waiting to see exactly what they're taking out. And I
So there's an NYPD canine. You can see the uniform.
saw them take out a hand truck, a dolly, out of
Oh, yeah.
one of their vans and go into the house. What does that mean?
NYPD canine.
Yeah,
And
that's a canine. Yeah, she's
Suffolk
right there.
County.
It says it on her back.
Yep, Suffolk County PD as well, and it looks like a park, a Suffolk County Park Ranger in kind of like tannish, tannish.
Green and yellow.
Yep.
What's so heavy that they need that? So that's also something that we're watching for. We've heard long ago that there were, some kind of vaults that were inside of the home. I'm not sure if they found more, if they need to take out the original, but certainly a very big deal as we watch so many members of law enforcement descend.
They could potentially be taking that house apart. I mean, there was that whole big hoopla, Ed, the last time that Asa Ellerup said that it was unlivable and that they cut the tub out and they cut part of the side of the tub and then the drain. You and I went into that extensively. But again, could they have missed something and now they're back based on new evidence and possibly digging up more of the yard? I'm going to look as you take over the screen.
Well, like I said earlier, they did a search inside this house, but they might not have recognized that items in that house were in fact evidence at that time. And then they developed new information. A linkage was established with something new that said, and they went back, looked at their photographs, because when we document the crime scene, we take a bunch of overall photographs before we start tearing the place apart to show everything that was there and how it was there. And so they went back and looked at these photographs and said, okay, there's what I thought was there, and exactly, let's go back there and seize this, because now we have this new evidence, and now this is probative. Now this has value to us that we didn't know about when we were there the first time. So they went back and get it. So they had to make an application to the judge. They had to prove probable cause, which obviously they did. The judge signed the warrant, and they're back.
Yeah, and to get probable cause to go back to a location, it's not something that judges hand out like like they're freebies. You have to come in there with cause. You have to have that probable cause and present it to the district attorney, who in turn presents it to the judge, and they get a search warrant. Again, is it coincidental that the home was vacant? Did Asa Ellerup know and get some advanced planning? Could be, but we don't know.
We don't know what her plans were. We don't know when she left the house. We don't know if she was notified and she says, I'm not going to be around for this, and got out of Dodge.
Ed, let's listen to our Fox 5 local. This is not an affiliate. This is local New York news. So this is the news at noon. So let's take a peek at this.
We begin with some breaking news on Long Island. That's where investigators are back at the home of Gilgo Beach murder suspect Rex Heuermann.
Yeah, he's the Suffolk County man charged with killing 4 women. Jody Goldberg is live outside his home in Massapequa Park. Jody, what are we learning today?
Well, Chris and Bianca, talk about deja vu. We were here back in July, and now months later, we're here as investigators issued another search warrant there inside the home. Now, we're told by Asa Ellerup's attorney, she's in South Carolina with her son. Asa Ellerup's attorney, Bob Macedonia, confirmed this to us this morning. He also told us that their daughter is inside the home. She was in there this morning, and she left around 8 o'clock when investigators got here. Take a live look at what's going on. Quite an extensive.
All right, so that's different information. I'm glad we went to our local news.
Play that back. She said they were in there?
She said the daughter was in there at 8 o'clock, and when they came to take the door or go in, she left. So let's take a listen to that. So this is contradictory to what I heard from a CBS affiliate.
Attorney, she's in South Carolina with her son. Asa Ellerup's attorney, Bob Macedonia, confirmed this to us this morning. He also told us that their daughter is inside the home. She was in there this morning, and she left around 8 o'clock when investigators got here. Take a live look at what's going on. Quite an extensive setup here. A lot of media presence, a lot of neighbors coming out once again to see what's going on. There's a command center, many agencies, including the Gilgo Task Force and state troopers, and why they're back is still unclear. The district attorney's office isn't commenting, citing an ongoing investigation. As you mentioned, Heuermann is charged with the murders of four Gilgo victims, sex workers found buried along a stretch of Ocean Parkway near Gilgo Beach. Heuermann pleaded not guilty. Neighbors we spoke with say they're surprised to see another search.
The first thing that came to mind was my daughter's school, which is right across the street. I ran into the school and asked them, what's going on? And they said, no, it's something with the Rex Heuermann house. They're doing another search. I was so paranoid. I was like, oh, my God, this is all over again. It feels like yesterday this happened.
I don't know what to think.
Certainly causing public alarm in the Massapequa Park community. You know, I've been through there so many times at that Massapequa Park community, and let me tell you, it is a tree-lined, beautiful residential neighborhood, and residents in that area, they are upset when they see what's going on and they see what's happening in that community there.
Yeah, you've been there so many times, you qualify as a stalker.
I've only been there twice, big guy, and I don't have my stop breathing down my neck. But that's a good one, Ed. All right, let's finish this up. This is almost done, and then I got another one after this.
Neighbors, and it's just unbelievable in your own backyard. And now Asa Ellerup's attorney made it clear no arrests have been made and there are no allegations arrests will be made. As for Heuermann, he's due back in court next month. We reached out to his attorney and haven't heard back. That's the latest here in Massapequa Park, Long Island. Jody Goldberg, let's send it back to you.
Unbelievable. Ed, again, could he have brought back some trophies from some of his victims and they didn't find it first time? Yes, right? But bones and human remains, bones will stay for centuries, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, absolutely. Now, I mean, you said, could he have brought back trophies? Well, yeah, he could have brought them back if he killed them someplace else and then brought them back. But if he killed them there, he probably just left them there. Okay, and as you know, remember what the former commissioner said, the basement was a hot mess. Okay, and it was a pack rat, right? It was so filled with stuff like a hoarder. So in that type of situation, it's tough to know what's probative and what's not probative at that time. Again, new information had to have surfaced that led them back here again. And, you know, I'm betting dollars to donuts. They looked at the previous crime scene photos and then were able to make evidential connections and got back in there with a warrant.
Yeah, and I think you're right, Ed, because that much personnel there. And listen, we have lots of people in the chat that are confused. Like, wait a minute, what's going on? Having the Suffolk County medical examiner respond to the location, like you said, it's not a New York City crime. It's not a New York City medical examiner's office where they have so many people working there. There's not multiple personnel. I mean, although Suffolk County is very large, it's a large landmass. Their medical examiner's office is not like overstaffed. So to have them come out there, it's got to be for good reason.
And Suffolk County doesn't have the homicides that New York does. Okay, no. not even close. Okay, right. So there would be no reason to have the large staff that we have in the New York City medical examiner's office out in Suffolk. Okay, so if they're going to be pulling that asset out of the office, you know, there's a reason.
Yeah, there's a good reason.
Right, and usually, as I said, it's in the purview of the medical examiners. I mean, bones, body parts, tissue, organs, teeth, things like that found at the scene.
Biological materials and so forth.
Right. I mean, well, think about it. Think about Jeffrey Dahmer. Okay, he had his victims' skulls on his coffee table.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
And he was cooking them in a pot too. Yeah. I mean, look, this situation that we're looking at here is massive, and this is not something that I don't think they'll be wrapping up. When you see multiple THV vehicles, that's not a one-day operation normally, and it's indicative of what we saw over the summer of 2023 in July. We saw multiple THVs from the state, and that state dark blue vehicle is there. And we saw Suffolk County, we saw Nassau County, and we saw the state troopers personnel. And that's all, that same package is back there. Let's play this piece from ABC News New York.
Afternoon at the home of accused Gilgo Beach serial killer Rex Heuermann. Investigators are again searching his.
Again, look at this, Ed. I mean, look at that on the front, those boxes and so forth.
House in Massapequa Park.
It is unclear what exactly they are looking for today. Heuermann has pleaded not guilty in the murder of 4 women whose bodies were all found in a marshy area in Gilgo Beach.
Eyewitness News reporter Darla Miles is live in Massapequa Park with the very latest. Darla.
That looks like the stuff they gave back to them.
David, Sandra, this search this morning comes as a huge surprise to
It
everyone,
does.
including attorneys for Rex Heuermann and his wife.
That may have been old footage because it looked familiar to me, Ed. I don't know, but this is now.
Well, I mean,
current.
yeah, okay.
This is current right now.
Asa Ellerup, as you can see over my right shoulder, the Gilgo Beach Task Force has an extensive operation underway, very similar to what we saw 10 months ago. You can get a closer look at that operation from Newscopter 7, which was over the scene earlier this morning, where you can see
that's
it.
there.
I'm
Those
gonna,
boxes are there.
Yep, it is. That was from this morning, Ed, and I stand corrected.
Yeah, those
Ed,
are probably the boxes they returned, and now it looks like they may be seizing them again.
taking them back out again.
Yeah.
This is, look, again, that box truck that they loaded all those weapons in, 170 firearms, that's that same box truck right here where I'm putting and this is a crime scene van.
Yeah, but you know what's crazy?
What
That
is?
stuff has been in that box since it was returned. They never unpacked any of those boxes or put any of that stuff away. There's no way they packed up all of that stuff in this short period of time.
Holy shiitake mushrooms, Ed. Let's let this play. Hopefully they'll show the backyard.
Manned post has been set up, as well as several tents in the front yard of this home here on 105.
Okay, there's the backyard, and it's a concrete slab. Look at where my... you see
I'm not
right
sure
here?
it's concrete. I'm not sure it's concrete.
All right, let's go.
First Avenue and Massapequa
I'll bet you a
Park.
dinner.
From the ground level, you see
Okay,
officers
fair
going
enough.
in and out of the home as they begin this search.
Of course,
for new
they put
evidence.
their stupid banner blocking
The
it.
search warrant was executed around 7 o'clock this morning, and the daughter of Rex Heuermann, his 26-year-old daughter, was home at the time. His wife, Asa Ellerup, we're told by her attorney, is out of state, was not home at the time. But we do know that she rendered this home. They filed a lawsuit after the 12-day search last year, talking about the extensive damage, how the home had been ransacked after that search.
That's exactly what I was just talking to you about. And you know, Ed, people are saying, why does he have to have that many guns? He may have been a collector. We know for a fact that they're hoarders. There is no question about that. Remember the view we saw from the backyard from the helicopter, and they were going down into that storm cellar with the green metal open, looking down. It was wall to wall junk. It was just packed with stuff. So listen, hashtag Ed, hashtag DutyRon with your questions. At the end, we'll take some questions. Let me just look at some of these star messages. So I just want to make sure we don't miss anything. Green-eyed PI sends, could be Julia Bean from South Carolina. Maine is there. The ME is there. Yeah. We don't know. Green-eyed PI, it could be anybody or anything. And it could be, you know, we could be completely wrong in what we're speculating about here, but I got to tell you, what Ed and I are telling you here is it's definitive. They do not send medical examiners out just to look around and poke around. You have to have cause. And we heard Dr. Murray Marks say that to us. When you asked him to walk us through a crime scene where there's a body or skeletal remains, he told us the exact steps that his office takes. Take a picture, send it to me so I can look and see if it's not, as you said, Ed, sometimes it could be an animal, could be not human remains. And Dr. Murray Marks, who's a forensic anthropologist, said that, you know, this is how we work it. We do not like to waste resources and send them out onto the scenes for no reason. So it makes sense, Ed. Let's take a little bit.
If it is remains, you want those people there because they're the experts on its proper recovery.
Exactly. No homicide detective, no, you know, seasoned detective can say definitively when it comes to human remains that have been there arguably for over a decade, right? So we're looking at potential remains that could be over a decade, or who knows? We don't know what this guy was up to until he got collared.
When we were at with 9/11, when we were at the landfill and we had our detectives raking through the debris that was shipped to the landfill for searching. I know what a tooth is. Well, most people can identify what a tooth is, but what I can't do is tell you whether it's human or animal. Okay,
Right.
that expertise goes to the odontologist who was working side by side with me. So when those detectives gathered up these body parts and bones and teeth, they would bring it to us. I would do all the documentation, and I would classify it as a tooth, and then the dentist would classify it as human or animal, or not human or animal, but man-made.
There you go. All right, let's let the rest of this play.
And how it's pretty much uninhabitable. Now, just 2 weeks ago, we learned that the Gilgo Beach Task Force would be expanding its investigation into other unsolved deaths on Long Island. It is unclear if this is part of that as well, but we do know that Rex Heuermann has been arrested for the Gilgo 4. There are still 6 of those deaths that have yet to go solved. He is a suspect in a 5th death, but has not been indicted at the time. Back here live on the scene, again, an extensive investigation operation underway by the Gilgo Beach Task.
So this is live. I think this was just a little bit over an hour ago, but it's interesting that they have these tents set up in the front. I think that a large concentration is going to be going on inside the interior of that home, perhaps in the basement and also the backyard. So I'm going to start scanning for some backyard footage. But Ed, I wanted to go to your thoughts about that.
What with the backyard? If they're going to dig it up or something?
Yeah.
Again, it depends on what information they obtained, okay, and how they obtained it. Is this from the Manorville work? Is this from that alleged wooden box they recovered, they dug up in Manorville? Or is there a jail snitch? Did the jail snitch record Rex saying something that are bringing them back to the house? Okay. Who knows exactly why they're there, except for those people that are there. We're not privy to this information, and we're only speculating at this point. But dollars to donut, they had to make an application to a judge and prove probable cause, and they were able to do that. They signed off on it, and they're out there in full force now. And you can see they're pulling these boxes out of the house because they were probably piled up in there and in the way of what they were trying to do. And these are the boxes that were returned to the family after the evidence that was in that box was originally looked at by the crime lab folks and everybody involved in the Gilgo Beach investigation, and then returned back to the family.
Yeah, 100%. Ed, I found some more News Nation, and I think they have some aerial coverage here. So I'm going to go to Marnie Hughes from News Nation. This is the most latest one that I was able to pick out while you were talking. So let's take a listen to this.
News out of Long Island, New York this morning. Right now, police are searching the home of Rex Heuermann. He's the suspect accused in the Gilgo Beach murders. He has been charged with the murders of 4 women. News Nation's Laura Engel is on the way to the home, and she joins us now on the phone with the very latest.
Stupid banner. Go back just a little bit.
I'm gonna.
Is on the way to the home, and she joins.
You gotta be kidding me.
Stop right there. Stop right there.
It looks like there's wood there. I see wood.
It looks wood.
But is there concrete underneath it? Because I have a wooden deck. I have a wooden deck with concrete underneath it.
I don't think so. I think you owe me a dinner.
Is now on the phone with the very
Easy,
latest.
cowboy.
Hey there, Laura.
Not just yet, cowboy.
Hearing about what led to this
I
morning.
can wait.
Hi, Marnie. Well, it did certainly come as a surprise.
That's
to many
wood, my
people
friend.
following
Look.
this case, but that's
What's under it?
the nature of the search
Go back
warrant.
to the
It's
banner.
Kind of a surprise. We have learned that the Suffolk County Police, State Police, Nassau County, all involved staging a massive command center outside of the home of Rex Heuermann and his estranged wife, Asa Ellerup. Police arriving around
You're lucky that's the driveway, Ed.
7 o'clock in the morning. I spoke to the attorney for Asa Ellerup, and he confirmed that the search warrant is being
Wait a minute,
served.
was that the driveway?
Police arrived.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
that is not. That's the
driveway
it
in the
is,
front.
It is. Right, it is.
Come here. Let me
Command
smack you in
center
that pole.
outside of the home of Rex Heuermann, and
Easy. I'm trying to save myself a couple $100 here.
his estranged wife, Asa Ellerup. Police arriving around 7 o'clock in the morning. I spoke to the attorney for Asa Ellerup, and he confirmed that the search warrant is being served, but he couldn't say what was in it because he doesn't have it. He also told me that Asa Ellerup and her son are out of the state, and that the daughter was not there. Whether or not they were given a heads up, that's something that I'm trying to confirm right now. But none of
We know that the daughter was there, so this might be a little bit. Might not be as updated as we think.
them were there. In fact, we've learned that Asa Ellerup and her son are down in South Carolina. And you'll remember that Rex Heuermann's brother lives in Chester, South Carolina, Craig Heuermann, and that is where they found the Chevy Avalanche that was so important in this case. That is where that Chevy Avalanche was being held. It was a vehicle that was believed to be used in the commission of the crimes.
And it looks like the full package is there, getting set up, and that's before everything is getting set up. These are crime lab. He says it right on the back, crime lab, right there, personnel.
You know, if honest, on a side note, if I was one of these neighbors, I'd buy that house and take it to the ground.
I'd buy the house, take it to the ground, and have an excavator come in. I'd hire Murray Marks and somebody from the body farm to excavate every piece of that property, because God only knows what's there. I mean, look,
Excavator. You're gonna need an exorcist.
Yeah, but we saw them in that backyard digging extensively in that backyard over the summer, and who knows what else is in store back in that home and in that backyard.
That's where she has family, and that's just as simple as that. But what's happening at the house right now is extraordinary because of the amount of police presence. And this also follows, Marnie, what happened last month, a massive multi-day search in Manorville.
Now
That's
you see,
on Long
Ron,
Island, and police were
you see when they're setting up, there's no boxes out here.
Right. Yes.
Those boxes came out later.
This is early on. You saw them setting up the table. They didn't even have the tent up yet. Those boxes were all in front of this wood pile and right here in this area, right underneath the 105 sign. I'm definitely going to take a ride by there tonight just to take a peek, and then this way you can qualify me as a stalker, because that'll be my third time out there.
Okay, and don't, God forbid, don't bring your wife again. How many times have you brought your wife? You dragged her out there in front of the house.
I never let her get out of the car, Ed. Listen, let's stay on the topic here.
seen searching in the woods for several days. I think it was up to 10 days. And they were even seen digging around. And there was word that they found something, that there was a black box that was found. And is it something that is connected to that search in Manorville that has now brought police investigators, members of the task force, to come to Massapequa?
Look at that face. That was early on. Remember when the snapped that picture of her? That was a Post reporter that was outside the house, and she started yelling and screaming at him, "Leave me alone," and blah, 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 blah. And then everybody was all sorry for Asa Ellerup. But now she's filming a documentary and earning $1 million. So I'm not sure how people feel about her now. Let us know in the chat and in the comments what you think of Asa Ellerup. What were you going to say? I hate.
Well, I don't think she's as innocent as she portrays.
I don't either. I really don't think so either. But it is what it is. They're out there. There's a full-scale operation going on right now, and I got to tell you, this will be interesting to see. And my prediction is that they're not going to be done today by any means. They're not going to be done by today, because with all those assets out there, it looks like it's a full-scale, large operation. I'm going to, as this is playing, I'm going to check to see if any helicopter footage or anything live. I'm going to go to News 12 Long Island and check in Newsday. But let's let the rest of this play, and then we'll go back to you, Ed, for some commentary.
Park shut down this street just like they did last July. Going through for 10 days searching for the home, or 2 weeks, I should say, in Massapequa Park. So right now it's unclear exactly what they are after, but this is certainly a very large development happening in the case.
You'll be there soon. Do they live there, the wife and the son and daughter,
Yes.
and they're just not there now? Are they currently residing?
That's correct.
Yes.
That's correct. So Asa Ellerup has been living there after the police searched the first time in July, when that big massive search came and they were digging up the backyard and searching through everything. We've seen photos, Marnie, of how the home was left. Now, when you look at the home, and we're going to talk about this later today when we're showing it to you, but we've shown it to you before, that it's kind of dilapidated. It doesn't look like the rest of the other homes. But what was inside after that massive search, it was very hard for them to live. They cut up the mattresses, the police did, because they're looking for evidence. They cut through the sinks. It was largely hard to live in, but they had nowhere else to go. So Asa Ellerup and her 2 adult children have been living there this entire time. So what was left in the house that wasn't retrieved the first time, we just don't know. But it is something very significant to have this amount, to have that probable cause for the search warrant is significant, again, in this case.
So we'll wait to learn more details on that. Meantime, Laura, what is the status of Rex Heuermann's case right now?
We've just been going to further hearings, status conference hearings. We were there just last month, and it's all about the evidence. Both actually, the prosecution needs to continue giving discovery to the defense, and the defense continues to ask for further.
All right. So again, they're going to talk about the case right now, but that's not what the breaking and pressing news is. Suffolk County Police, along with the state police and the whole Gilgo task force, that includes FBI, Suffolk County Sheriff's Office, multi-agency task force, is continuing the search and investigation into Rex Heuermann and his involvement in potentially more than just these 4 victims that he's charged with right now. We could be seeing a lot of different info. Ed, I wanted to just go over to you if you have anything extra you want to put into it as I search for some aerial footage.
Yeah, I'm just waiting to see if our good friend, the very flamboyant lawyer, pops up with some statements after this.
Oh yeah, Mr. Ray. Yes, I'm
Mr.
sure
Ray,
we'll be.
exactly.
I'm sure we'll be hearing from him sooner than later as it pertains to this case, because he's definitely outspoken. That's for sure. I would be interested to hear in what he's saying. Here's something from 57 minutes ago. I think I played this already. I'm searching for aerial footage, Ed, because again, I want to just see that backyard, not just because of our bet, but mainly I want to see the backyard because there's people in the chat. Stop laughing. There's people in the chat that are talking about they are digging up that yard. So I trust our live chatters. And I think our true crime enthusiasts might have seen something maybe that we didn't see. So I'm searching as we speak right now for some aerial footage. AP News has something. And if anybody has anything, just let me know. If you have anything, please let me know. And I'd like to highlight it and put it on the screen. All right, Ed, you see anything in the chat?
Our good friend is here.
Attorney
Thanks for the
Melanie
$10.
Little. Attorney Melanie Little, thank you for the super chat. And she says, look, tents, tables, Canton PD could learn something, a lot from Nassau County and Suffolk. Thanks for the coverage, Ron and Ed. Question, what do you think they are looking for, being that they're already thoroughly searched once? Ed, I'll let you take that because I know you already answered that out, but Melanie probably just came on in now. Thank you for the super chat, Mel.
I'm thinking it's a souvenir, or it's a momentum that he had saved from one of the homicides, and they didn't recognize it for what it was the first time they were there. Maybe that box that they recovered, it now connects it, or as I said, maybe a snitch in prison caught something in a conversation with Rex that brought them back here. Well, time will tell, because they have to answer this warrant out to the judge. They got to go back to the judge with a list of things they seized from this location.
Yeah, there's got to be a search warrant return within 48 hours of the completion of that said search warrant return. And as we know, Suffolk County is dotting their I's and crossing their T's as it pertains to this Gilgo 4 investigation. The Gilgo task force is on their toes, and they're doing everything that needs to be done in a legal fashion. So there's no legal snafus, things like what we see in this Karen Reed trial. It's just an absolute joke what went on there in Canton with a leaf blower to blow snow away. Ed, I'd like to get your thoughts one day on that.
Well, Josh TM writes, Cousin Vinny said they're tearing out the safe in the basement. Well, it's not an actual safe, Cousin Vinny. It was a concrete room that he had made when he put a heavy steel door to get into it. So it wasn't actually a safe, okay? It was a vault that he made based on the concrete foundation and building a wall to put this heavy-duty steel door in. So I don't know how accurate that is.
All right, Ed, I got something from Newsday. So let me put Newsday on. You got anything else? What is this, Josh? Okay, he took that. All right, let's listen to Newsday coverage. Again, I'm at the office. I'm working off of my little teeny laptop here, so I'm trying to search the best I can. So please, folks, grin and bear this. But this is from Newsday. Let's hear what they had to say. And this is local reporting.
Nearly a year after the arrest of Rex Heuermann in connection with the killings of 3 women whose remains were found near Gilgo Beach more than a decade ago, investigators are back here at the home where Heuermann lived with his wife and children, executing a search warrant.
Here it is again.
Neighbors in this Massapequa Park area woke up to the return of a huge police presence Monday, wondering why law enforcement was back about 10 months after investigators conducted a painstaking search of the property.
I just wish it would go away and dig up everything you got to do and just do away with it.
No comment from Suffolk District Attorney Ray Tierney on work being conducted here for the Gilgo Beach Homicide Task Force.
I'm glad that they're finally looking to see who killed all those girls, but they should have found that out 15 years ago.
Anybody also noticing, and I know you and I, Ed, are in tune to this, but the background noise, there's helicopters from the news swarming over that location. Every report that we've listened to thus far from on the ground there, you hear them in the background, right, Ed?
Yeah, and that's a major issue for those tents. That's why they're there as well, to shield them.
Yeah.
Rex Heuermann has pleaded not guilty to murder charges in the killings of the 3 women, entering another not guilty plea earlier this year after being charged in the slaying of a 4th woman. No one was home here when the search began early this morning. Steve Langford for Newsday TV.
So there you have it, Ed. I think we covered everything that's live right now. But breaking news out of Long Island: the Long Island serial killer Gilgo 4 suspect Rex Heuermann, his home being searched again today. Just almost about a year. It's coming up on this summer will be a year that they were out there and that he was arrested in July. Medical examiner's office out there. We are going to keep a close eye on this as this develops. If something breaks overnight or into the evening tonight, I will be live with it. I know, Ed, you are in Morocco, so it's starting to get nighttime over by you. So if something happens and there's more to report, we'll be on it this evening. Ed will be sleeping, but I'm going to continue to follow this. And if there's something that we can update you on tomorrow, Ed and I probably around this time, maybe tomorrow, we'll go live with you. But let's look at the chat because Tony D sent in, he gifted 5 memberships. Thank you for that, Tony D.
Thank you, Tony.
I don't want to forget these starred messages. Green-Eyed PI, thank you for your super chat. Debbie, thank you for being a YouTube member. Consistent Insomniac, always here. Hopefully they'll find definitive proof. Yeah, that's what we hope for. Absolutely, 100%. K Music Taylor, I think, yes, we highlighted this. She's talking about John Ray's witness affidavits. She feels like this might be something that's pertaining to his witness affidavits. Could be. We don't know. It could be anybody's guess. Pointer Lover, thank you for your hearts. We appreciate that. And Just a Girl, member for 3 months. Thanks for keeping us up to date. DutyRon and Ed. And a special thank you to Ed because he's in Morocco and he's doing his army training and this is his nighttime. So when I said to Ed, I'm going to go live, he's like, I don't see anything scheduled, Turkey. Let's get it going. So Ed's right away goes into bust chops mode, and I'm like, I gotta create a live. Give me 5 minutes. So it's funny how Ed and I go back and forth with each other, but it's all in good fun because
That's
we
right.
do take this serious, but at the same time we have to put a little bit of add a little bit of humor to it. So this way, that's our coping mechanism.
Yes, take your work serious, but not yourself.
Correct. Grumpy Dumpy, a member for 20 whole months. She says, thank you for the update. Well, we thank you for being here, Grumpy. I know you're not grumpy. Cat H says, thank you for the breaking news. And Sharon, thank you for becoming a new member. I appreciate that. Ed and I both appreciate the support here. All right, let's go to the chat and see what we got. Ed, anybody? Hashtag Ed, hashtag DutyRon. Questions as it pertains to this new search. And I'll let Ed, because he's an expert at scanning the chat, look at the chat. It's your show, Ed. You got the show.
Yeah, well, this is the way, Laurie, this is the way cops interact with each other all the time. It's always fun and games until we have to get serious. It's a way of blowing off steam and staying mentally sharp, as well as staying, doesn't letting all the madness that we see in the world turn us into, post-traumatic stress disorder and so forth. It's a way of coping.
Yeah. Hey, I wanted to make a mention real quick, and I know this has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but if you guys want up-to-date live coverage on the trial for Karen Reed, that's the person that's accused of murder of police officer John O'Keefe from Boston PD, Attorney Melanie Little has been on it every day, all day, every day. So if you want to look at that coverage, go and check out her channel. She's one of maybe 3 suggested channels that we have here. So kudos to our good friend Melanie Little for unbelievable, up-to-date, play-by-play, blow-by-blow coverage. Ed, there's something from JoJo for you.
Ed, I can't wait to hear what you say about the red Solo cups and the Karen Reed case. I'm not following it. In fact, I am here with somebody from Boston, okay, in my team with me. Well, actually, it's his team and I'm with him. I'm on a separate assignment, but I'm not really following it from here, so I don't know about the Solo cups. I'm going to have to look that up.
Yeah, we'll check into it, and definitely I've already made a couple of comments on that as well. You guys can go and look at some of the previous live streams that I did. But if you want up-to-date coverage, definitely Melanie Little, unbelievable. Ed, there's our good Italian friend, Sakina.
So the food is good, and I tell you what, I've eaten a lot of pizza and Italian food since I've been here. But the Moroccan food is great. Folks, if you don't know your history here, Morocco rather is our oldest treaty ally. Okay, they signed a treaty with us after we came over here and laid down the law about pirates capturing our ships and seizing our sailors. And they were the first ones to sign a treaty with the United States, and that treaty is still in effect today.
Wow. Little bit of history. You can always get that out of Ed Wallace because he's on top of things. Let's just take a look at this. This is the latest thing. It's from 47 minutes ago. I want to just listen to this because I haven't checked it, but I want to hear what they have to say.
Park, you see a crowd gathering in the news from Long Island. The FBI back at the house of accused Gilgo Beach suspect Rex Heuermann. They're conducting a new search of the property right now. Chopper 4 giving you a look here live over the house in Massapequa Park. You see a crowd gathering in the neighborhood.
Okay, this is from 47 minutes ago. So this is the most recent thing that I could find as you were talking. And I apologize for not looking up at the camera. I was just trying to do some research here, folks.
Force Paisy Cheng is there on the ground for us. Paisy, what can you tell us about this new search?
Yeah, this new search is really taking these neighbors here by surprise because, things have gotten back to normal, as they say. Heuermann's family has moved back to the house. They've been trying to, kind of get the press away from here. And now suddenly it is still a crime scene. Now, we have seen a lot of state police and Suffolk County police vehicles here, as well as Suffolk County detectives. And we understand that a search warrant is being executed at the Heuermann residence, according to the attorney of Heuermann Heuermann's ex-wife. And we don't know exactly what has brought them back here. 10 months.
There's that unbelievably large state crime scene, or THV that they use
Command
at
post.
major events at the command post. This THV has all types of satellite upload capabilities and all kinds of capabilities, and you see the Suffolk County one right up here in front of it. So interesting to see this.
After their first exhaustive search, but right in front of the house, we saw tables set up, boxes, things that were laying out onto the table. And just recently, they had put up these white tents to prevent people, I would assume, from looking into what they're doing. Rex Heuermann was arrested last July. He has pleaded not guilty to first and second degree murder charges of Megan Waterman, Melissa Barthélemy, Amberlynn Costello, and Maureen Brainerd Barnes. We spoke to a lot of neighbors here who couldn't help it, had to come back here and take a look and see what's going on, and here's what they told us.
I mean, they keep on finding new evidence. I hope this leads to the rest of the girls being found. I mean, I can't believe that they're still looking. What else could they possibly be looking for at this point?
I don't know. I mean, I thought they tore the house apart last time. I have no idea.
What does that tell you, though, that they're back here and they're looking again?
Maybe he's talking. Maybe Rex is talking.
And that is everyone's assumption that somehow investigators now have new.
I don't think he's talking at all. I think that they've got new evidence, and that's what's leading them to this location. Asa Ellerub, we're all suspect of her and what her knowledge is of her husband's activities. And again, a lot of these cases we see, like we're talking about Stephen Stearns and Madeline in the Madeline Soto case. How could the mom, Jennifer Soto, not know when now we're finding out that she gave the blessing for her boyfriend to go and sleep in another bedroom with her 13-year-old daughter, or younger at the time, to help relieve her anxiety and stress. So I don't know. Only time will tell. But what we know about Asa Ellerup is that she's not talking, but she is taking money to have the story documented, and she's trying to profit on the backs of 4 or more dead women that her husband stands accused of murdering. And that doesn't sit well with me. I don't know about you, Ed, but it doesn't sit well with me.
No, this is not normal. This is not normal mother behavior. Okay. None of this is, it's just crazy.
It's not normal human behavior.
Well, to me, she's got criminal liability. Okay. She, endangering the welfare of minor, child abuse, all the above. Okay. So to me, she should be charged with these crimes.
Right. Yep. Hey, listen, friends, before we end this up, tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to be live with Dave Rader and Twyla Cisco from EquiSearch, and we're going to be talking about Sebastian Rogers, and we're going to also go over some of their recent cases that they've been searching for. That's going to be 9 p.m. tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern. I don't think you're going to want to miss that, because I'm going to ask Dave and Twyla about any communication between them and the TBI. Is there any updates on Sebastian Rogers? Are they going to be going back to search for the young 15-year-old autistic boy who's missing since February 26th of 2024? It's almost 3 months coming up, and there's still no answers, no suspects, no criminal investigation going on. So 9 p.m. Eastern, you're not going to want to miss it. Sebastian Rogers, we're going to talk on that case, and EquiSearch Midwest, their team, Twyla Cisco, Dave Rader, the director, they're going to be live with me tonight. Ed, I want to thank you for taking the time to cover this breaking news. And we do this from time to time when we can. Rex Heuermann's home being searched as we speak in Massapequa Park, Long Island. And we hope that the search is fruitful and that they get evidence that will implicate him in perhaps more murders that are unsolved. Because, Ed, there's a ton of them out on Long Island and in Nassau County on the island that are unsolved. Any thoughts before we go?
Yeah, he's got more under his belt, no doubt in my mind. It's not just these four, okay? And it's just a matter of linking him. He's
Getting
been a
that
busy
linkage.
boy.
Yep, getting that linkage is what we're seeing, and all of this activity that you're seeing in the foreground here, the state police and all of these at different various agencies. This is what a good investigation looks like, folks, and they're doing a thorough job by dotting their I's and crossing their T's, and that's really all that we can bring you at this point right now. So this has been an unscheduled breaking news. I want to thank everyone for the replay, for the super chats, the moderators, the folks who leave us comments down below in the comment section, the folks who buy us cups of coffee, become members, become Patreon supporters. Your support is greatly needed because it helps us to make contributions to helping folks like EquiSearch search for the missing. Oh, coincidentally, we made a $500 donation to EquiSearch yesterday. They did a fundraiser in Ohio, in Dave Rader's hometown or in his area. And on behalf of all of us here at Crime Time with DutyRon, that's the members, the subscribers, the people who are engaging with our content. You guys all made that donation. It didn't just come from me and Ed. It comes from this community. So we made a $500 donation to EquiSearch Midwest to help them search for the missing. We'll be on tonight to talk about it with them as well. All right, Ed, thank you. I always love when you smile, Ed, because either you're seeing something funny or I don't know.
You know, it's like I've done a couple of lives here from Morocco, and I'm looking in the chat, and there's always somebody who talks about these curtains behind me. Okay, I'm in a hotel room. I didn't choose the curtains, but for some reason people love these curtains. Okay. So if you want a set of these curtains, I'll talk to the hotel folks and I'll get you a deal.
There you go. All right. I missed it. See, because I'm just focusing this way. I'm not looking at the chat. I don't want the chat to derail me, but I love my live chatter. So I always go back and look at it. But thank you, Ed, for paying attention.
Whoa.
What? I like the curtain.
We got a felony here.
Uh-oh. Splatter.
Eileen. You got Ron, put her in the bathroom, Ron. Put her in the bathroom. Okay. All right. I don't care if Joey Mush is in there. Put her in the bathroom.
Oh boy. Eileen commits the felony of the chat, felony of the live stream. All right, guys and girls, we got to run. On behalf of Crime Time with DutyRon and Ed Wallace, we want to thank you for being here. Ed, I know you always got something to say before we wrap it up.
All right, folks. Thank you. Thank you for joining us on this unplanned live. I know that you true crime junkies have a lot of places you can go on the internet to get your fix, and we appreciate that you get it here. We feel like drug dealers now. Okay. But thank you so much for your support. Thank you for putting us over 300,000 recently subscribers. Keep spreading the word. Keep supporting us. Get some more subscribers our way. Thank you. And remember, always stay safe, stay prepared, and watch your six.
Excellent, Ed. And there's our good friend Brenda. She's always in the chat on the replays. She says, if you want the truth, Ed Wallace and DutyRon always giving the truth. Thank you, Brenda, for your unwavered support. You're always here for us and everybody that's in the chat. Again, I like to always say this too. God bless each and every one of us here in the chat and everybody that is out there that needs to have the safety net of our Lord. So sending prayers, strength, and positive vibes to all victims of crime and their families across the globe. Thank you for joining, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace and love from Crime Time with DutyRon and Ed Wallace in Morocco. We'll see you soon. Peace.